This is Seth here, spiritual and business consultant, also known as Lucifer, also known as Seth, also known as Major Hater 1523, and so much other things. Business and spiritual consultant. I'm here to help you out, man. This is what I do. Um, you know, so the Taliban's took over Afghanistan. Whose fault it is? Because I know not everything is somebody's fault. I know sometimes you got to blame yourself for things. But this is one thing that you cannot blame yourself for. And there's a lot of spiritual people. I mean, war is not a nice thing. War is horrible. War is horrible. But as a spiritual person, it is not your place to dictate how humanity works, right? It is, but it isn't. There's certain things that you must respect. You cannot accept the light without the darkness. So the earth itself and life as it happens is supposed to happen like that, right? It's inevitable. It's inevitable. You have to have a balance. The earth is kind of balanced. Kind of. There's a lot more darkness. There's light, but still, there's a certain balance in it, right? And unfortunately, war is that balance. And, the reason why I'm saying this, because I know a lot of people is going to disagree I know a lot of people disagree, period, with the notion of military usage. And as stated many times by many men and women, any good thing can be turned into a bad thing, either with excess or, irresponsible use of it. Military doesn't necessarily need to go to war, but it's good to have a military just in case. The thing is, war is inevitable. There is darkness, and since if there's no darkness, there is no light. Without light, there is no darkness. All right, so there's a certain balance in this. Now, the thing is, all of that has nothing to do with the Taliban's taking over Afghanistan. What the problem is Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the problem because Joe Biden removed and demobilized the military service that was working there, right? And obviously that was going to happen because Afghanistan is a warring country. And there's a lot of other countries beside it that are warring countries too, including Russia and other Middle Eastern areas. Now, anybody with a right mind would have told you that was going to happen. If you remove right now the military, that was going to happen. There was no other consequences but that. Of course, it was going to happen. Either ISIS was going to start blowing up people, or Taliban was going to start blowing up people. Somebody was going to start blowing up stuff, right? So you can't. You can blame somebody for this, and if you want to blame somebody, you can blame Joe Biden, right? A lot of people, like I said in my other video, a lot of people want to subjugate themselves to this new world order without actually understanding that this new world order is destroying everything. It's like you guys just don't care about your own life. And I know there's a lot of people that don't care about their life. I know there's a lot of people that don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I know a lot of people are like, and it's not even people, not the light at the end of their own tunnel. Like, they just look at him, because the guy, whoever I'm talking about right now, could actually have a decent life, like a pretty nice life. But the state of the world is what is giving him a depression. He feels depressed from the state of the world. He doesn't feel depressed about the state of his life. He feels depressed about the state of the world. So in that, this person does not feel like living is worth a damn, right? So for people like that, it doesn't matter if the Illuminati is trying to ruin everything. Shit, they'll even help them if they can. Because the faster people die, the sooner he can die too. You know what I mean, bro? So people are heading towards death because living has become hell. Since hell has become living, people are going towards death, right? But the thing is, who's causing these ideas to creep into your mind? So before you think about death, before you think about how horrid humanity is, before you think about how much war there is on the world, think about this. Who is actually pulling the strings? And who is actually making you think the things that you're thinking? If you watch CNN, for instance, CNN has been, and the worst part about this, CNN has been exposed for a bunch of fake news, right? CNN has been exposed for giving out false information a lot. And recently they've been going ham. I mean, balls to the wall. Ham on the fake news, bro. And even though you know that CNN has been exposed for things like that, you are still depressed about humanity. Let me tell you something. You are not looking at this from the right perspective. You're not looking at this on the right perspective. You're not looking at this on the right term. You shouldn't tell yourself life is horrible because CNN lied. You should tell yourself, well, maybe real life is better than what CNN shows me. That's how you're supposed to see it. Most people don't see it that way. Most people, if I expose CNN, they're going to be more depressed. Because they're going to feel helpless. They're going to feel like there's nothing they can do. Because if CNN is a major broadcaster and they have all the political power in the world, well, that means I don't have a chance in the world. That couldn't be more freaking wrong. The fact that all these people are lying is actually means the complete opposite. That means you're living in an illusion. And that means even though you know the truth, that doesn't mean you're outside of the emotion, the illusion immediately. Because you might know the truth, but because of your emotions, you're still stuck in this time loop. You're still stuck in the time loop. You need to come outside of the time loop. So if CNN gets exposed, and they're just telling you how many people died and there's bombings and all kinds of stuff, that means everything is all right. That means nothing's wrong, dude. So that's supposed to be a positive more than the negative. But most people are not going to see it like that. Most people are going to see it as, you know, oh, well, the government's lying to us. They're trying to kill us. Yes, they kind of are. But if the government had so much power, if CNN had so much political power, they wouldn't just be lying. They would actually act upon the lies. And if they're not acting upon the lies, that means you still have a chance. Period. Well, however you see your life, or however grim and dark life seems to be, it really ain't that bad. I know it's difficult to understand, but it really ain't that bad. You know, it seems a little bit far-fetched. I know. You're not used to this kind of thinking, and you're not used to being outside of the matrix. But like I said before, the only thing that keeps you in the illusion is your emotions, the emotions that you feel about what you're seeing. If you see a lie, there's a positive in it. That means it's not as bad as what I thought it was. Because I've been watching CNN for the past 5 years. And for the past 5 years, they've only reported atrocious events. But recently, I just seen that they were lying about a lot of things. So maybe they were lying about the past 5 years. So that means somewhere out there, there's a world that all these things are not happening. There's a parallel universe. Because the illusion that we're living in right now is so grandiose that it's actually a parallel universe. You're living in the multi-world, Marvel Avengers, X-Men, time travel, Age of Apocalypse, Marvel multiverse. That's what you're living in right now. The lie has become a reality of its own. And it only holds up and it only holds weight because of how many people actually fall for it, believe in it, or helps to create it. And there's a lot of people that help to create it. There's a lot of people. This job is not a one-man job. Creating a parallel universe is not a one-man job. It's a multi-organizational job. You can't do this from just one standpoint. You can't do this from just the political aspect. You can't do this from just media sequences. You can't do this from just social I don't know, like functionaries, right? Like social functions. You can't just do that from those places. It has to be multi-layered. Sorry about that. It has to be multi-layered. I got too much energy, so it's coming out. Anyway, it's multi-layered, right? You gotta have political people working on it. You gotta have political activists. You gotta put out BLM movements. You have to put out Antifa. You got to pull out anti-Antifa. You got to put out different organization, Ku Klux Klan members. You got to put out classic Ku Klux Klan members. You got to put out everything. You got to put out Bloods and Crips. You got to put out, government officials. You got to put out everybody from every sector to create this alternate reality that we're living, that some people are living in. Because I don't live in that alternate reality. That alternate reality cannot touch me. I'm outside of that shit. And the only reason why you're still inside of it, even though you know the truth, is because the truth is not actually freeing you because of the emotions and your perception on how you think the truth. The truth is supposed to free your mind. The truth is not supposed to keep you inside of the matrix. And a lot of people, even though they know the truth, they're still locked inside of the matrix because the emotions they feel from hearing the truth makes them feel bad. It does not make them feel hopeful. It makes them feel bad. It makes them feel angry. It makes them feel like rage, right? It makes them feel like they want to fight everything, right? It makes them feel like they should burn this place down. Like what's his face? Killmonger. Burn it all down. Shit. Burn it all down. And a lot of people feel like Killmonger. I like Killmonger too. I thought he was dope. I thought he was a massive supervillain, man. And he's fucking right. Everything has to burn down. But it doesn't need to actually burn down physically. It needs to burn down here. You need to burn every house, every street, every people that you've ever seen and known. You have to burn it all down in your mind. Well, how do I do that? Well, go to my website, pay $20 a month, and I'll tell you. Shit. You know, shameless self-promotion. Yes, that's what I said. God damn it. You know, this is some serious business, man. It's some serious business, bro. Because the thing is, you might think I'm kidding, which I am, kind of, but not really. Because the Illuminati listens to me. I'm a global elite too. How many of you guys, right, ever thought about something smart or something inspiring, and then you hear it on the news or you hear it on TV, or somebody comes around and tells you the thing that you already thought of? That means people are listening to you. That means your God is listening to you, right? Because he's acknowledging that you said something that was smart. The only reason why you're hearing it again is because it makes sense. If it didn't make sense, nobody would waste time repeating the shit to you. So if somebody's repeating the shit to you, it's because it makes sense. So somebody's listening. The question is who and why? Or is there even a question in that? Does it even matter? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. So y'all are thinking all of this shit as entertainment, but there's actually some serious people that are considering this knowledge. So yeah, my website is $20 a month. And I'm doing shameless self-promotion. Because I deserve shameless self-promotion. That's how I see shit. That's how I see shit. So anyway, this video is too damn long. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.